Simply Shaquana, and I am back with another video. If you like last video, go ahead and give a thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell so you'll be notified when I upload. And let's go ahead and get right into the video. So this week we will be talking about my predictions for the order of like who wins the division. And let's start with, I'm just going to start with just this, whatever, however I do it. But the NFC, I got the Lions come first. I'm not disclosing records because, I mean, I'll take all day. It will take a long time to do that, and that's just my prediction. So I just got the Lions winning the division. Then it's the Vikings, number 2. Number 3, Chicago. And the Packers 4. So I'm not in any particular order. I'm just going, you know, by sections. Okay, now this is the hard one. I got Bengals at number 1, Browns number 2, Ravens number 3, and Steelers number 4. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Then I got Panthers number 1, Saints number 2, Falcons number 3, and Bucks number 4. Then I got the Jags number 1, Texans 2. Jags number 1, Titans number 2, Texans number 3, and number 4 is the Colts. Then I got the 49ers number 1, Seahawks number 2, LA Rams is number 3, and the Cardinals 4. Then I got KC 1, Chargers 2, Broncos 3, and the Raiders is 4. Then I got Eagles 1, Dallas 2, Giants is 3, Washington is 4. And then lastly I got Buffalo 1, Dolphins 2, Jets 3, Patriots 4. So the reason why I did some of these predictions like that is kind of hard to tell. It's always, you always know the loser. Like, you always know who's going to be the loser. I know the first 3 slots. They're always complicated because you never know if people get injured. You never know. Some teams is back and forth. So now that I made my predictions for all 3 of the season, now I'm gonna tell you why I said those.
Why?
Okay, so now we have who is going to be in the wild card positions and what teams could be out of the playoffs, right? So for wild card, I got the Dolphins. Obviously, like, sometimes it can flip. Like, sometimes you could have a team that don't make the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to have a exact team in the AFC. The NFC is more easier. The AFC is more harder. So, okay, the Dolphins, I believe. Where is the Dolphins? So I was thinking that the Dolphins could be a wild card if they don't win the division, right? But sometimes it could either be the Jets. So the Buffalo could win the division. The Dolphins can win the division. It's kind of hard to say. Or the Jets can win the wild card. So it's like one team is going to be in, one team is out. And it also depends on if you're injured, if something happens. You never know, like, a team can slip in there. Just like I said, the same thing with the Browns. The Browns could be in, like, win the division, or they could actually be a wild card. And for my honest opinion, I really want to put the Browns number 1 because of Deshaun Watson has actually played more games this year, so they actually can see what he can do more. But it's kind of hard to say because you never know. Like, the Bengals is a good team, Jamar Chase. They got so many good teams, so it's kind of hard to say if the Bengals will win or the Browns will win, you know, as like the division leaders. They also could be a wild card, but you never know. Same thing with the Chargers. The Chargers was kind of hard too to switch off too, because KC, you didn't know KC might still win the division, but if not, the Chargers could win the division, or the Broncos. You never know. And you know the Raiders, this is horrible. Like, yes, they got Devontae Adams, but still, like, you just don't know how that can work out. And you know, you always got the teams that suck. Like LA, the Rams don't suck. They're still getting better, but they're just at the bottom of the list. Like, it's so hard to, you know, get up top after you won a Super Bowl. And you know that process after you win a Super Bowl. You go through so many, you know, obstacles by keeping people, cutting people. Do I keep the quarterback? Do I keep... And then honestly, they didn't keep their quarterback. They kept the head coach, just like the Eagles did that year that they won. They couldn't keep Doug. They couldn't keep Carson Wentz. They couldn't keep everybody on the team, so they had to, you know, go on to better things. So you do have some of those teams like LA, the Colts. The Colts can't find their way. They have to start all the way back up from the bottom just to, you know, just to develop something. It's too much. The Packers, it's too much. Like, they still got Love, but still, like, you don't really have a lot of key players to, you know, build something up with. The Chicago is trying to build something up. The Steelers, they're still too of a young team. The Steelers are still too much of a team that is still building up players. They get all younger players. They're doing it good. The Eagles did that same thing after the Super Bowl. We got rid of a lot of people and we got more younger people. So it's just that stage where you have to keep building up and up and up. And the Bucks, that's why I said the Falcons got more of a chance than the Bucks, because the Bucks don't really have a chance to win the division this year. I also pointed out injuries too. Injuries could be a developing factor too, and it also goes off of some of the teams. Like, this is kind of like similar to last year, like with the whole schedule. It's the same people that won the division and the wild cards last year. That's the same people. They just put in 2 more people in, because you know, you never know. You have like people on the side, like 2 or 3 people on the side, just in case, like in the hunt, just in case. But the Jags, they won the division too last year, so you still got the same people, basically the same people, like literally, like. And especially with the Ravens and the Steelers, they did get out the first too. They got out. Well, the Steelers did get out of the running last year. They did get cut at the last minute, but the Ravens went 1-5. So it's kind of harder to say. Like Washington, they're horrible. Yeah. Like, it's just so hard to say who can win and who can't. And for the wild cards, I have either the Dolphins or the Jets. I got the Browns, the Chargers. I have the Chargers or the Broncos, Cowboys, the Saints or the Falcons, and the Vikings. I forgot to talk about the Vikings. The Vikings, in my opinion, I feel they're better as a wild card this year, because I don't know why. I just feel like Kirk be prime time in the season. Prime time in the season, but when you get to the playoffs, he throwing picks, he doing this, he doing that. I'm like, what kind of Kirk is we watching? Like, I don't like that. So hopefully they'll get it together to, you know, go more into the playoffs. But that is my playoff prediction and the season winners for the division. And if you guys think otherwise, just comment down below what you think, what teams you think that will go over other teams that I picked. Also, you can like, comment, subscribe. Also, we can go back to the other video and talk more if you have any questions, if you see just anything anything, or just put it down below. Don't even go back to the other video. Talk about it in this video in the comments. And this is my predictions. So